So just to kind of wrap up, going through the phone a little bit, we have the calendar, have the Internet Explorer, Pictures, Zune, Xbox Live. Live's one of my favorites since that's always been kind of one of my babies. Unfortunately, because we're actually showing this phone live with Facebook services and such, currently our Xbox Live implementation is running on PartnerNet, so we had to pick one or the other. So this one's not wired up, but you can see some of the basic concepts in the panorama, your collection. Take a look at the game. It's an example of what you might see in a marketplace. Obviously, this is not filled out. Take a look at your avatar. You're going to see information about what's happening. There's a bit of a slide issue right there. One of the panes that's missing currently is the notification pane. And that's because we're doing a big focus on asynchronous gaming this time for launch. And what we wanted to do is make sure we had a place to surface invites, nudges, game turns in a single place where you're going to be able to act on them and see them very easily.
I guess I touched on this drop with the phone, but in general, notification when it comes in, it's going to be intrusive like an iPhone OS notification where it jumps on you and says, hey, you have to pay attention to me right now? Or is it going to be more of like a pop-down like with WebOS where it just barely bothers you?
More of a pop-down. You'll see a little strip across the top that shows you it came in, and then what you'll see is like a number. So a good example is if I got a text message, you might see it stripped across the top, like very thin. Just, it came in. That'll fade away, and then you'll see number 1 appear next to my messaging, so you'll know you have a text message that's come in that you need to act on.
And can you access it from the notification bar?
Yes, if I tapped it while it was up, just like a toast on the Xbox 360, it'll take you straight to it.
Perfect. Okay. Very cool.
And show you the top-level hub for Office really quickly. Obviously, you'll be able to take a look at your notes, OneNote that are synchronized. All of your documents will be viewable. SharePoint synchronizes through the cloud.
And this will sync. If you do an Office document, you will be able to store it on your SkyDrive or something like that.
So we're not going to all the details around where you're able to store the documents, but SharePoint obviously is a cloud-based server where we are going to be syncing. SkyDrive feels like something that's likely to be looked at.
SkyDrive is more for personal use. I mean, you're talking right now mostly business-related stuff.
Well, no. I mean, Office has always been a consumer feature, too, right?
I'm saying the SharePoint is going to be used by businesses.
Sure. Fair point. Yeah, but we're not going into too many details, but the consumer is absolutely the primary focus. Okay. So, I mean, I think it'd be pretty silly for us not to have ways for you to share your documents on the cloud, especially since we have our web-based versions of the apps coming out with Office 10.
Okay.
And then, just to kind of wrap up, I'll show you the... what's the last thing I can show you? We've got pictures. This is the Zune client. This is probably the last one that's worth showing here. And you have, obviously, it's a Zune built into the phone here. The ability to look at the music, look at your history, what music you actually have, your albums. You can drill in an album, look at album art, get information about the song. You can play it, skip tracks, do all the good stuff that you want to do.
We were told that photos would sync overnight if you plug in your phone and it's on your home network. It would sync with the Zune PC software automatically. Is that something that's also doable with things like? I mean, I'm assuming contacts will be stored with Windows Phone software. Online you could access and everything. But what about with regards to music and stuff? Is there any sort of wireless sync available?
So we're not talking about too many details around how you sync music, especially around Zune or photos.
Right.
In general, what we've said is we're going to be allowing you to sync a lot of this over the air. So when you first fire up your phone, we're going to let you be able to connect your Facebook account, any photo accounts, any other accounts you want, and start syncing that information in ways that are appropriate. That's about as much details we've given so far.
Okay.
So there you go. That's about it.
Can I ask you a really quick question? Somebody just asked me online.
Yeah.
They were just asking about kind of.
Oh wait, here it is. Here it is.
Music.
Playing music, guys. We're getting lucky.
There we go.
This is really standard.
Is that you as a child in the background?
No, that's actually one of Joe Belfiore's kids.
Oh really?
Yep. So we'll just go back to the Zune player here.
He put his picture on all your phones, or he gave you?
No, this is actually a mixed build. This is actually a mixed build that we were doing here to be able to show off over at the show here. So he was doing a keynote, but we kind of built one around his family.
Right.
So just a quick question about things like access bars and that sort of thing. Like how much, just like your 5 bars or something. Is that on the front page or?
Right there.
Oh, Okay. Yeah, it's just kind of hard to see from that view.
Let's get that front page on
so
here.
It does, so everything is just right up across it.
Yeah, it's just there, and then depending on where you are later on, it'll sometimes fades away. You know, because you don't get to see it. So.
But we can customize the home page to
Yeah.
home screen
Yep, you
with the
can put on
messages and
your own pictures. Yep.
not just a picture,
Oh,
the
I see.
messages and the calendars.
I don't know the answer to that. We have a very strong design sensibility that's been built in on what we want the experience to be. I don't know whether you can adjust that. I know you can definitely do the image in the background, but I'm not sure how much you can change what's actually on the screen.
I take a look at the list of the applications.
Can't show you that. We're not. Unfortunately, it's one area we're not ready to show yet. So, but I'm going to wrap up because I actually have to run back over to the booth.
Thank you very much for your time.
problem. Glad to help.
Appreciate it.
So, request from